everyone, in this video I want to give you a quick overview of what APA style is, specifically the 7th edition of APA that just came out. So APA really does two things for you for your papers. APA is a set of rules for how to format your paper, like where your name goes and the title and all, things like that. And it's a set of rules for how you cite all the different sources that you use in your paper. So all the books, articles, and websites that you use for background information. When you use the information from those sources, you have to cite them, and APA style has rules for how to do that. So I'm going to use this APA sample paper that I have up here to give you an idea of how to set up an APA paper and show you some of those rules that I just mentioned. So the first thing we're looking at is an APA cover page, which is the first page of an APA paper, and it needs to include a couple of different pieces of information. So let me show you. So in the upper right, in the header, you actually insert page numbers, starting with 1. So you have your page numbers. Then in the center, in bold, you have the title of the paper with all the significant words capitalized. You have your name, the name of your school, the name of your class that you're writing the paper for, the name of your professor, and the date the paper is due. Oh, and this is all written in size 12 font, usually in the Times New Roman font. So size 12 Times New Roman. So that's everything for the APA cover page. It's the beginning of the paper. Now if we continue on, you'll actually, on the second page is where you'll actually begin writing the paper itself. You'll list the title one more time in bold, and then you'll actually get into your introduction. You'll have your thesis sentence, and you'll start to introduce your different arguments for your paper. This is where those citations kick in that I mentioned before. So in APA, as you mention facts from the different articles and websites and books that you read, as you mention facts and ideas from those sources, you have to cite them to give credit to their authors. So it's called an in-text citation, and you can see a couple on the screen here. So even if you take a source and you paraphrase it and write it in your own words, you still need to cite them. So at the end of this sentence, we see a citation here. You put the citation in parentheses, and then you include the author's last name. So this author's name is White, and then a comma, and then the year the source was published. So in this case, it's 2000, and then a closed parentheses. So it's just author last name, comma, year the source was published, all in parentheses. And you do that throughout the paper. Whenever you mention an idea or a fact from something that you read, you do a quick in-text citation. Like here's one with 2 authors, and their last names are collected with an and symbol. So you just do those throughout the paper. You mention a fact, you do a quick in-text citation. It lets your professors see how much work you've done as you're working on your paper and you're citing all your sources. Now, you do a simple in-text citation like that if the thing is paraphrased, if you've put their original idea into your own words. If you take something word for word, then it's a direct quote. Let me highlight a quote here. So you can see this in quotation marks is something that the author of this paper has taken word for word from something else. So they put it in quotation marks, and then after in parentheses they include the author's last name, a comma, the year it was published, a comma, and then the page number of where they got that quote from. So page 850, probably from this book by this person. So that's if it's something you take directly word for word, you put them in quotation marks. If you paraphrase it, you don't have to put it in quotation marks, but you still have to cite it. So you'll do citing sources throughout your paper. You'll work your way through. You can see you can divide your paper up into different headings as you go through different subjects and things and different topics that you talk about. Eventually you'll get to your conclusion of your paper. And then the last thing you do in APA for a paper is your references page. This is where you include the complete longer citations for your different sources that have all the details about the source. It's not just the author name and the year. Like this one has the author's last name, the year, the title of the book in this case, and then the name of the publisher. Others, this one here is a website. So it has the name of the group that made the website, the name of the article from the website, and then a link to get to the article itself. So we have some APA guides on the library website that will show you how to cite sources like these. I'll mention them in a minute. So you cite all your sources in this longer, more detailed format on your references page. You list them alphabetically by the author's last name. Like we can see these going A, B, C, so on and so forth. You cite all your sources for your paper. And then this is usually the last page, or the ending of your paper will usually be your references page. So I hope this gave you a little bit of an overview of how to set up APA papers. You probably still have plenty of questions, and that's fine. This is really just to help you get started. If you want to learn some more about APA, if you go to the library website, there is a student resources link that has some great guides on using APA style that you can look at, and there's an APA sample paper there for you to look at as well. And also, feel free to stop by in the library and ask us if you have questions. You're also welcome to email me. My name's Alex Kirby. My email address is akirby@pennhighlands.edu. And I'm happy to answer questions over email about papers. You can email me a paper and I can look at your APA sources. But one way or another, us at the library will help you out when it comes to any of your APA projects. Good luck in your semester.